Hey everybody, we are back. John Delarose here. The most dangerous voice in science fiction. I'm going to be driving for a sec here. I was just grabbing lunch and I'm on my way back. It's been a long work day today for me, and I almost forgot to broadcast today. But we also had some crazy news this morning with Project Veritas and their video where they show a Twitter employee actually clamping down on pro-Trump speech and shadow banning accounts. These people don't get notices. Nobody knows if they're shadow banned. You just don't show up for public posts. And Twitter is confirmed that they intentionally are doing this. They're confirmed that they are doing it to silence political opposition. They're confirmed that they are doing it to silence certain voices. I can't believe that this is happening in America. It really shows how far things have come in the last couple of years, how people really think that they can silence folk, how they think that they clamp down on free speech, how they think that they're actually doing good by doing this. These are the same people that over the last 2 years, 3 years, have just called everybody who stands in opposition to them literal Nazi. You're following literal Hitler. These are the same type of people who are doing this, that are working at these companies, are in this California Bay Area la la land. And I'm here. I am in the heart of Silicon Valley right here. I'm broadcasting right from the belly of the beast right now. I work here. I live here. I interact here. I've been a victim of some of the silencing based on free speech here. So I know exactly how it goes down, more than most. But yeah, they've gone unchecked for a long time. They have had free reign. They've created these websites, Facebook and Twitter, Google, YouTube, which are things that you can't replicate. And the reason you can't replicate them, and I know there's Gab, so anybody who's there's Gab. I know there's Gab. I'm going to have a conference call with the guys from Gab actually in about 25 minutes here. So I'm going to, I'm very well aware of Gab. I'm plugged with them. I know them personally. I love them. I support their website. But on the flip side, there is something about being a platform that reaches a critical mass in terms of being a sort of sandbox or let's call it a public square for speech, to where everybody is somewhere and everybody uses it, including the President of the United States, right? To where they have an advantage that's impossible to replicate to some degree. Now, Gab's doing a great job with what they're doing, but reaching that critical mass that Twitter has is really, really, really difficult. It takes a MySpace level screw up where they have to just totally torch their website in order to just basically kill their own product in order for somebody else to be able to take its place. So these things are close to monopolies. They're not just private products. These are products that are open. These are platforms that are on the regulated internet, which are open to the entire public. But they use these platforms to be able to silence certain people and boost other people's voices just based on politics, just based on identity. Now, Twitter's not the only one who does this, guys. Twitter's bad. We've had a lot of incidents in Twitter's past. There's a columnist at PJ Media who had several thousand followers. I think her name was Bridget something. I can't remember. But she wrote a piece on the Middle East and what was going on there with some radical Islamic terrorists. And she found the next day that her Twitter account was deleted because she linked her own article as a journalist. So this is a journalist putting out their article. This is a journalist basically doing their job, which the press is something that's sacred in our Constitution and in our way of life. And Twitter just purged her potential readership because they didn't like the political message that she was sending. And it was a pretty innocuous piece at that. They just did not want any information on radical Islamic terrorism out there that was contrary to their own message. So Twitter throttles things, in addition to deleting accounts like this poor journalist here. Twitter throttles people now. They're probably throttling me right now. I guarantee you that I'm getting 9-10 viewers on this, because this is a Twitter platform right here. If I put in keywords over time that were a little different you know, maybe I wouldn't be throttled as much as I am now. I have a great viewership, but you know, I mean, I might be growing faster if Twitter weren't also using these little tricks on me, right? So Twitter's bad. Twitter's been doing this. YouTube's been doing this. I have plenty of friends who are YouTubers who have been demonetized, who have had videos deleted, who have had their accounts suspended, just because of their identity, or because the other danger that a lot of these have is if there's a group that goes around and they run mass harassment campaigns on you, they will get your account purged, and nobody there has to suffer any consequences for doing that sort of thing. I had a lady, her name was Anna Johnson. She was apparently going around, and she was, I don't know her relation to Worldcon, but she found me because of the Worldcon incident last week, and went through and just was going through my Facebook page and flagging my content all day. And it ended up getting me suspended for 24 hours last week. I got suspended multiple times. She was harassing me. She was harassing me, and I had to get suspended multiple times, three times in total. Because of what she was doing to me. And, you know, I think there were multiple people from that incident coming on my page and trying to do that. She said that she was also going to go on Twitter and get my content flagged and get me deleted from here. I don't know if she's reported me. I don't know what the deal is, but I haven't been deleted yet. But we are in real danger just if people see these reports who are ideologically different than me, and it's being shown now. It's being shown this is real. If people see these reports from people who are actively coming to my page and harassing me because of my political views, and they share the political views with the person reporting me, they want to use these little shady practices either to, one, throttle my posts so people don't see it, or two, try to get me deleted. And that's what we're seeing now. This is frankly a new civil rights issue. This is a free speech civil rights issue. It's individual versus giant corporation. And this is the new modern rights issue that we have to deal with. It's only getting worse, too. It's only getting worse. We're finding so much coming out here because of Twitter, because of Google with the James Damore situation, where it's actually coming down to the fact that they're causing problems with employment. We're finding it even in things like games with Magic the Gathering and Jeremy, the Unsleeved Media guy, who was targeted by a bunch of harassers who wanted to purge him. And they actually went and threatened his wife and kids. And yet Magic the Gathering, because of politics, I guess, didn't do anything about that, didn't care about that, and actually took his private property by deleting his account. You know, we're gonna have problems with this, and I think we have a big intellectual property problem with this, because of Jeremy especially. Jeremy had his Magic the Gathering online account for the it's a game, but you can actually buy physical cards on there. You buy physical cards, you buy tickets to their events, and these things have real monetary value, and you can trade them and sell them on eBay and things like that. He had real tangible property that was not real property. Now, if you think about this, your iTunes account, your Amazon account, all of these accounts that you subscribe to, my dear watchers, viewers, all of these accounts you subscribe to have the same sort of model where you have their platform/program and you're subscribed to it and you have access to their content. All of their terms of service say that you do not own the content. Even if you pay for it. If you pay for my book on Amazon right now and you get the Kindle version at $4.99, which you all should, by the way, for Steam and Country, it's a great book, you can read it on their Kindle platform. If Amazon decides you are a bad person for whatever reason, they can delete your account and they cannot give you access to the product that you paid for. It's kind of crazy. So that's what happened with Magic here. And though Magic is a niche kind of nerd game, right? I mean, so nobody cared about it. I mean, Breitbart picked it up and talked about it, but at the end of the day, most of the people who actually would be concerned about these free speech issues and all that, looks like I left my key in my car, wouldn't actually care about it. You guys aren't going to think about it for the next, you're not going to be sitting here worried about Magic the Gathering, you know? Magic the Gathering doesn't apply to you. That's not a big deal, right? But Breitbart says it. Breitbart said it, man. Andrew Breitbart said it, that politics is downstream from culture. That's why I hit culture items only. That's why I only talk about culture, because this is the most important battle, not just for now, but for the entire next generation. If Magic the Gathering can steal the stuff, Amazon can steal your stuff. Apple can steal your stuff. You paid for it. We need consumer protection somehow from these giant monolithic companies because there are not alternatives. You cannot, all these companies have set it up that they're so big that you cannot actually get the same level of service or same level of product anywhere else. And because of that, because of their power, they bully other people out of the industry. They keep everybody down who's trying to compete, and it's really tough. And they have created monopolies. The bottom line. It's so I don't know what to do about it. It's dangerous. I think Twitter itself is in big trouble. I think that we've discovered that this is too far, and they're being kept afloat by conservatives. If you think about it, people come to Twitter to see the president. Basically, at this point, the only reason people are on here is that, and then to self-promote like myself, right? So Twitter as a platform is in big trouble because of what they're doing here. This is a big public problem for them, and I think it's only going to get worse. I'm currently working on an article on this. I have other information I don't want to talk about on Periscope because I'm going to sell an article here. Got to get paid, right? And I think it's a lot worse than people realize. I think Twitter's in bigger trouble than people that realize with this going on. And I'll hopefully have that article out in the next couple days, assuming my editor accepts it. But yeah, Twitter's got a problem. I think we're seeing all these online content platforms have the same problem in that they're discriminating against the same class of people. And that class of people is people on the right, conservatives, Christians, right? It's been deemed societally that these people are allowed to be discriminated against, and it's escalated over the last couple years to where it's a huge problem at this point. But Facebook does this too, guys. I mean, with your like top posts versus your most recent posts. I mean, where do you think some of these algorithms with the top posts come at? They throttle certain websites' links. It doesn't come out. This isn't verified yet. Veritas verified that Twitter's doing this. Twitter is a real problem that actually has, identified real, tangible evidence against them now. But Facebook is doing this too. Come on, with their fake news initiatives. There was a while there I was getting notifications that this may not be a credible news source. Facebook's telling you what to think and telling you what articles you're allowed to read. They're telling you what articles are good for you, and they're telling you what articles are real sources. And the real sources are being verified by people at Media Matters, right? I mean, it came out. So Facebook's doing the same thing. Twitter, Google, Facebook, they're all doing the same thing. YouTube's doing the same thing. And who else? I've even been shadow banned on Reddit. So shadow banning, for those who don't know, who haven't really followed this yet, shadow banning is the act where the platform makes it so your posts are not seen by others. So basically, if I post "Yay Trump" or something like that, they will flag that content and they will be like, okay, this guy is not saying desirable things on my platform. So we're going to use our little algorithm here, and his posts are not going to come up now, right? That's what shadow banning is. And so what happened would be I'd broadcast this, and you wouldn't see it on your feed, or at least some people wouldn't see it on their feed, because they are flagging that content so that some folk don't see it, right? So that's what shadow banning is. I've been shadow banned on Reddit. So Reddit is another board type situation where it's pretty open to the public. You can kind of post anonymously there because you can just make your username whatever you want. And I was informed, I was posting to Kotaku in Action board, and I posted, this is about 9 months ago, when I was having problems, again in the Bay Area. There was a science fiction convention called BayCon, and they removed me from their speaker platform because I'm an outspoken Trump supporter. Well, I was posting about that over on Reddit and Kotaku in Action, and one of the mods there sent me a private message. He says, "Hey, your posts are shadow banned, by the way." And I'm like, "What does that mean?" He's like, "Well, I don't know. You're gonna have to contact an admin." I'm like, "How do I contact an admin?" He's like, "Well, I don't know." And I went around in circles with him for a bit, but I was told by a moderator on there that I in fact have my account on Reddit so that nobody sees my posts. So that's very interesting that this is not just going on Twitter. This is going on across the internet. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know what the government can do about this. I don't trust that if the government was regulating these companies that it'd be any better. A lot of these cases, you've got an employee at Twitter, and she sees, she doesn't want this content up, so she just flags it real quick. How do you stop that? That's really tough. Really, you have to create an environment in the country where free speech is something that is desirable. Free speech is something that people uphold as a sacred value, and that's really the only way we're going to be able to fight this long run. So I'm working on that. I'm working on everybody's right to speak, everybody's right to have a platform, everybody's right to be in this public square that is Twitter, to voice their opinions on policy matters, on cultural matters, on whatever you guys want. This is my goal. I want freedom for everybody. So, like I said, I've got a call with Gab. I'm going to be talking to the guys shortly here. We're going to be talking about this and some other matters with this. It's a great website, gab.ai. I know some of my followers don't like it so much because of something that went down last year, but I think these guys have the right hearts, even if they got some issues. Nothing's perfect, and so I am aware that nothing's perfect, and I'm supportive of those who are trying. They can see this is a problem. They cannot do what they want with their own platform. This platform is a monopoly. This platform is a public square. It's a public service that's open to everybody. This is a free speech and civil rights issue. So if you're banning classes of individuals, that is against that violates a lot of different civil codes in the United States. So I'm going to get on the phone with these guys from Gab, and I'll talk to you later. My results of that will probably end up in my article in the next couple of days, so look out for that on thefederalist.com. Other than that, please check out my book for Steam and Country, and check out my Patreon. It's Patreon/John Della Rose. I am creating short stories, fiction, and all that, and I'm good at what I do, so you'll probably enjoy it. Thanks a lot.